So he says here, and this is in his preface, success and happiness in life depend on two things: knowledge and character. In other words, to be successful and happy, one needs not only to be competent in their profession, but also to have noble character in superior morality. An ancient saying states that academic education, which is how he translates ta'lim, and moral training, which he translates as tazkiyah, are the keys to happiness and success. So in other words, learning is not enough in itself, whether you call it tazkiyah, whether you call it tarbiyah, or whether you call it ta'deeb. Ta'lim is not enough, just learning. Is that ta'lim in our tradition, from the earliest time, or when they were before the Prophet ﷺ, is tied to tazkiyah. And perhaps he mentions tazkiyah here, is because this is what the Quran says. وَيُزَكِّيكُمْ. This is one of the fundamental duties of our Prophet ﷺ. يَتْلُو عَلَيْكُمْ آيَاتِنَا وَيُزَكِّيكُمْ وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ. So first, and he purifies you, and he teaches you the book and the wisdom, which is his sunnah. And so there's tazkiyah and there's ta'lim. And what is meant is that there's formal learning, but then there's a purificatory process that you go through where your soul is being nurtured, where you're learning adab and etiquette, and that your heart is becoming free of impurities. So these are the two keys of successes. Every successful person has these two. How could it be otherwise? Because if this is the fundamental mission of our Prophet ﷺ, every successful person, every great person who's truly great with Allah, not what humanity or society thinks is great, is that they have learned and they've gone through a process of purification. If one of these elements is missing, a person is destined to be unsuccessful and unhappy. And look at the way he's framing this, because people want to be happy, of course. Sound knowledge and good character are like the two wings necessary for a bird to fly. Today, unfortunately, many people tend to prioritize vocational and academic education over character building and moral education, unfortunately. And some parents even are more than happy to let their children suffer in the dimension of character and morality as long as they get the right job, as long as they go to the right school, as long as they're known in a certain way. And they're happy and they'll talk about that. But their child could be a profligate, but they've neglected this side of things. What's the most important thing when we return to Allah is what is our state of heart and what do we do? Even if they feel the urge for ethics, they are often confused about how to pursue character education as they face the following question: which morality? Whose ethics and whose values? These questions inadvertently turn ethics into a perplexing political question and a power struggle. So this has to be unpacked. There's a lot of details here. Consequently, ethics get conflated into politics, and people often get lost in the media smoke surrounding it. So the whole point is there's a lot of complicated factors where the person in the modern world, if they're not connected to these chains of transmission and the right environments to learn the realities of this deen, people are going to be confused. There's a number of factors coming together where people are indeed confused. And they oftentimes see right is wrong and wrong is right and get dragged into certain ways of thinking and then certain types of behavior in ways that they don't even realize it. Then he says, in this book, we provide a concise and clear answer to these questions. The character and morality that we aim for our youth to develop is Futuwwah, which is ingrained in the cultural genes and collective memory of humanity worldwide. So this is almost a type of universal way of understanding things. And there's a code. There's a way that you are. There's certain traits that you're supposed to have. And in speaking to Dr. Rajab, is that he feels that this is one of the best ways that you and I can respond to the postmodern world that we've inherited, that has led people to be a certain way. Now, there's a knowledge component of that through the trickle-down effect has then led to that acts and types of behavior. But his position, which is a very beautiful way of looking at it, is that in this postmodern crazy world that we've inherited, where everyone can essentially do whatever they want to do, whatever they do is right for them, and there is no truth with a capital T anyway, this is the response is, no, no, no. There are standards. There are ways that we have to be. And this is one of the great ways to respond in a very practical way. And everyone can have access to this, young and old alike, is that we respond with Futuwwah. As we will see, the likes of Imam al-Sulami, who's one of the first authors on the books on Futuwwah, connect it to the way of the prophets. So we can think of Futuwwah as the way of the prophets.